Well, okay, back by popular demand, and that's by a vote of the class. 14 said yes, 4 said no. So we're going to go ahead and finish out the next unit, Unit 9, the rest of Unit 9, with some flipping the classroom. Tonight's subject is finding missing angles in polygons, and if you recall, we did a little bit of this already, but there's a few things that we didn't do, and so we're going to finish that up tonight. If you have one of these little graphs here, and you should have, because I think I sent you home with some today, cut out one of these. You're going to use this later in the lesson. Look it up. So right before spring break, we left off with figuring out the sum of angle measures of a polygon. And so we said that if we had a polygon, we should count the sides and call that number n. 1, 2, 3, 4. This polygon has 4 sides, so n equals 4. And then we use this formula, 180 times n minus 2, and we said that was equal to the sum of the angles. All 4 of these angles will add up to something we call the sum of the angle, which just means the sum total of all the angles inside the polygon. So back to our formula. So we have 180 times n minus 2. Well, we already counted, and n is 2, so we have 180 times 4 minus 2. So we have 180 times 2, so that's 360. So the sum of the angles of this polygon is 360 degrees. So we used our sum of angle measures to find out the sum angle of this polygon. What we want to know is, what is x, right? We know that 90 degrees plus 90 degrees plus 63 degrees plus x degrees equals 360. So now we can just add these up. 90 plus 90 is 180, plus 63 more is 243 degrees, plus our x degrees equals 360. I'm going to subtract 243 from both sides. To get x degrees equals 117 degrees. So angle x is equal to 117 degrees. Okay, I've got a second polygon here for a second example. And I know it's a pentagon because it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. And I also know that this is a right angle. This is 120 degrees, that's 80 degrees, and then I have these 2 angles here that I don't know what they are, but I know they are the same size. They are both x degrees. So the first thing I had to do to solve this problem was to find out that n was 5, because of the polygon. Put it into the formula to find the sum of the angles, 180 times 5 minus 2, which is 180 times 3, that equals 540. That's the sum of all of these angles. So I know the sum is 540. Now we just need to add them all up. Here's my 90 degrees, plus 120, plus 80. Then I have 1x, I have 2x. So I have plus 2x degrees. So we have 540 equals 120 plus 80 is 200, plus 90 is 290. So I've got 290 degrees plus 2x degrees. Let's subtract 290 from each side. That'll give me 250 on the left equals 2x degrees on the right. Let's divide by 2 on both sides. So we have an x degree, angle x is equal to 125 degrees. So this should be 125, and this is 125. So far, we've been given a polygon, and then we are expected to use the sum of angle measures formula to find out the sum of the angle measures. Well, like pretty much everything else in math, if we have you work it one way, we expect you to work it the other way as well. So, with that in mind, how about I ask you, the sum of the angle measures is 720 degrees. How about I ask you to tell me what polygon that is? So instead of you calculating the sum of the angle measures for me, I'm telling you what the sum of the angle measures is, and I want you to tell me what the polygon is. We know the sum of angle measures formula looks like this. It's 180 degrees times n minus 2, where n is the number of sides of the polygon. Remember, the number of sides of a polygon is how we name the polygon, right? Well, I'm going to give you what that is. I'm going to give you the sum of the angle measures, 720 degrees, and I'm going to want you to tell me how many sides are on the polygon. Okay? Pause it and think about it for a second if you need to, or pause it and write yourself a question to ask me tomorrow. But I'm going to give you the sum of the angle measures of 720, and we're going to figure out how many sides there are. So the first thing I'm going to do is divide by 180 degrees. To solve for n, I need to get n by itself. So we're just going to solve like we did with the one-step equations, two-step equations earlier in the year. 720 divided by 180 is actually 4. So I have 4, this is really equal to 1 now, times n minus 2, right? Let's add 2 to both sides. I've got 6 equals n. Now, name the polygon for me. What polygon has 6 sides? The sum of the angle measures is 1620 degrees. So the sum is 1620 degrees. So I need to take 180 times n minus 2. Let's divide this by 180. Six hundred and twenty divided by 180 is actually 9. Yes, I used a calculator. This goes to 1, so then I have n minus 2 left. Add 2 to both sides. 11 equals n. 11 equals n. You know what we're going to call that? An 11 gon. You'll see several examples tomorrow where we have very large side numbers, and so they just call it like 11-gon or 32-gon. It's just a simple way of doing it. Here's the last thing we're going to do tonight. So get your little guy here, your little coordinate plane, and get ready to use it. This is what we're going to do. We're going to make a connection between the coordinate plane and polygons. I have here a series of points, and we're going to plot the points. We're going to connect the points to draw a polygon, and then we're going to name the polygon that we've made by the number of sides that it has. So, if you want to put this in your notebook and go ahead and plot these points, and I'll be back in a second. We're back, and I've plotted a couple of points. I've got 3, 6. I've got 3, negative 3, 6, 3, negative 3, negative 2. Goes right there. Then last we have negative 3 and 4. So now what I want to do, and I would want you to use a ruler in class. Maybe I'll use this. I'm going to connect these points to make a polygon. I'll be back in a second. So here's our little polygon that we made. We took the points that we were given, put them on the coordinate plane, plotted the points, and then we connected the points to draw a polygon. Plot the points, connect the points, draw a polygon. We did that. Now name the polygon by its number of sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A polygon with 5 sides, I hope we all know by now, is a pentagon. So this is a pentagon. Note that it doesn't have to be a regular pentagon. It just is a polygon with 5 sides, so it's a pentagon. So, tomorrow morning's quiz, your daily quiz, I'm going to have you do this right here. I'm going to give you a set of points. I'm going to give you a coordinate plane. I'm going to have you plot the points, connect the points to draw a polygon, and then name that polygon by the number of sides. Alrighty? Have a good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.